Do you remember the first time you met him?
Yeah, sure. Just down the road here, like 10 houses away from here, sitting in Tiger Tail.
Tiger Tail.
Do you remember your impression?
I was a listing agent, and he was representing the buyer.
I had the buyer.
He had the buyer, I remember, and he walked in the door, and
Well, it's funny.
there's a backstory. If you ask him, there's a different backstory.
No.
That's why I asked him first.
Yeah, I know.
What's your first impression? Like,
No, my first impression was
you do showings, like, oh, here's another realtor.
just another dude walking in with his.
I told this story 3 or 4 years ago when we were at the summit. And it's just like, oh, I'm going to a Riley Smith listing. Oh my goodness,
It's actually funny. Wait, let's pause. He's wearing a hat.
Yeah.
He's
Now I am.
He's
Now he
properly
is.
dressed
Now I
today.
am. Yeah, no.
But
But at the time, I was like, okay, it's like a $2.5 million listing. It's right over here. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna impress him. I'm gonna be in like slacks and a jacket. And I get out of my car. It's 100 degrees. It's 100 degrees. Beep. It's like 100 degrees outside. I'm sweating, and this guy shows up late. He rolls up in his golf cart. He's wearing a linen shirt. He's got his sandals on. And I'm like, this mother bleeper. Like, this guy, I can't believe this. And I was asking him questions. He's like, I don't know. I'll find out. You know, like, and he was on his phone. No, but it was cool. He was super real. And it really, at that moment, I was like, God, that's what I want to be. Yeah. You know, like you got to the point, Riley, to where you felt comfortable being yourself.
I was comfortable in my own skin by that point.
And this was in 2010. Yeah. Or no,
maybe
19, sorry. Yeah. But it was such a eye-opening experience. That 10 minutes I was at a showing, and it just showed, like, and you know me now, I'm just authentic. This is who I am. Yep. You know, and I think just learning that from you on that first time I met you was something.
And thinking of where you were and who you were working for and how they carried themselves and how they dressed.
Right.
There was probably not a more stark reality.
Yeah.
when you walked in that room. Right.
No,
I always laugh every time we go somewhere and we're in a room with suits and ties. Yeah.
I was at a happy hour last night with a law firm. You know,
I saw that.
Yeah, and I was wearing a t-shirt and my hat and jeans, and everybody's in suits, and I'm just like, all right, well, this is it. You know, this is who I am, and this is, and the good thing is that I've done deals with a couple of those lawyers, so it was nice to, and they introduced me to friends and stuff, but like, this is who I am, and that, again, I think the authenticity part of it,
people love that,
is like, love that.
And I think if you look at his career, that when I first met him, he wasn't really being true to who he probably is.
Yeah,
just
of course.
like none of us are, right?
Yep.
We're always trying to impress or figure it all out, right? Fast forward a few years, being on the team, having some success, growing.
Yeah.
I think now you've gotten so much more comfortable in your own skin,
and
that comes from having more knowledge, having more trial and error. Just
knowing
you can't jump into this business that way, right? You have to mature into who you are and shed the perceptions of who you should be.
Yeah.
And eventually you find your tribe. If you want
exactly
to suit tie, I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's what I've learned to say.
Yeah. And that's
I really have, because I've had people get out of the car meeting me for the first time, and you can kind of tell them, they look
They're
you
like,
up and
oh,
down.
you're awfully casual, son.
Yeah, you're like, it's a Saturday. Yeah, like we're going into like
quote.
a $5 million listing, and like this is what you're, like.
But that confidence comes across, like, and if you're okay, then.
And you know what's funny? They ended up buying from me. Those people that like you could kind of tell they were looking me up and down, and it's just because I think in that moment you're just like, okay, I understand their perception of me. They don't know who I am, but let me show them why I'm providing the value. And it doesn't matter how I'm dressed or how I look. What matters is that we are experts at what we do, and we're personable, and I think that's so refreshing. I talk about it with realtors that I had just met. I'm like, you know what? I can tell that you like what you do as a job.
Yes.
And that is so refreshing, because we meet so many people in this business that don't really look or act like they want to be here.
No, they're all wearing jackets and their hair is slicked back.
Slicked back, and they spent their last commission, rental commission check on Gucci shoes, and
trying to impress,
and they get out of their 3 Series.
Start impressing with your knowledge and what you know versus how you look and dress.
Yeah.
I think you've got there at that point.
And again, the number one word, and we talk about all the time, is confidence. I think that once you're at that point and you've earned that trust of certain clients, and all of your clients, really, you've earned the trust of them, it shows that you don't have to be a certain way to be really good at your job.